Latasha. How are you?
I'm doing great, and how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight, or today, rather.
Yes,
I'm
today.
super excited to talk with you today about Glampreneurs. That is my new segment for the next month and a half. And this is something new that I'm doing because I never do a theme podcast. I always do whatever, whatever I'm led to do, whatever I'm feeling at the moment. But this is what, it's been laid on my heart to do. And I'm super excited. And you are my very first guest. So thank you so much for doing this for me. I'm super excited. And just let me let you know off the top, your artwork is going to be amazing. I love the photo that you sent me. And I already love it. So I can't even wait to
Thank
share
you.
it.
I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. And you're
You're welcome.
beautiful too.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's get started. Okay. So I wanted to, let me slow down. So the reason why I thought about interviewing you for my podcast is because of your journey in fashion, which I
Okay.
also do. I have a modeling studio, but it's not about me, it's about you. But that's why. That's what piqued my interest, is because we have similar interests. So I wanted to definitely get in touch with somebody who is a local native here in Chattanooga as well,
Okay.
because I'm not. And I just wanted to see, how you got started, your why of why you got started in your business.
Okay. Well, a lot of people don't know, but I used to thrift my own clothes. I started off, I was a tomboy. I can show you some pictures and you be like, that is not you, but it is me. I looked like Queen Latifah probably from Set It Off. It was a journey. But I kind of went into the fashion. I went from hip hop fashion till old lady fashion to too big fashion till finally kind of narrowing it down to what was for my body type.
Mm-hmm.
And when I kind of figured it out, and started seeing what was really for my shape and my curves and everything, I started, wearing my little clothes and stuff. Well, it ain't like I got all this money, but I'm a person, I never wear nothing twice if I go to an event.
Mm-hmm.
So people were like, hey, where you get that dress from? And I was like, you know what? I got it. I'm not going to wear it no more. So they're like, well, can I buy it from you? So then I started getting into thrifting my own clothes. A lot of people know me from when I first started. I was yard selling off Marketplace. And I used to wear heels, but these knees won't let me be great no more. So I don't wear them big skinny heels no more. You got to be a wedge or a platform. But I used to thrift my own shoes and thrift just basically whatever I wore. And once I did that, I started modeling. I used to model for Miss Sherry Etchison. I have modeled for Shay, and I used to model for a lot of people in Atlanta. And I started doing that, and I said, you know what? People start asking me questions about showing them how to walk, and how did I get into being so confident. And I didn't really realize how many people was watching me. That's why I always tell people, be mindful what you post on Facebook, because you never know who is paying you attention.
Right.
So
That's true.
I have teachers that I gave all kind of problems in school that watch me.
Yeah.
So I start being a mentor, and people start asking me questions. So I came out with my own fashion, and I picked out some girls. I had a little model call, and they came, and they end up being like my team, and they've been with me ever since. And it's been an amazing journey, from doing a small show to doing just huge shows, to bringing people in town, to you know dropping my own fashion line. I'm all about plus size women, embracing the curves that you have, no matter what shape and size you are. I do believe in being curvy and classy. I get there's stuff coming out size, but that don't always mean that we're supposed to wear it. You know,
True.
being confident and not looking correct in your clothes is two different things. Yeah.
True.
So that's what I
Definitely.
stand for. And a lot of people don't agree with me, and that's fine. But that's what I stand for, and that's what I believe in. So
Right.
hey,
Right. That's your opinion,
yeah,
right? Everybody's
yeah,
entitled to their own opinion. So
yeah.
give me a little bit more about the emotions behind you starting your own business. I mean, do you do anything else outside of your own fashion brand?
Well, I do have a full-time job. I've always had a full-time job, and it is not easy. But for me, it's an adrenaline thing. Like, I love it. Like, no matter how much I fuss, everybody who's been around me for years, they know I'm a fuss and say all kind of words that's not appropriate. But I love it. It's like a drug for me. No matter how much I might fuss and complain, I cry every show. So anybody who knows me, who comes to my shows, anything I really do, I cry, because it's more than money to me. It's seeing people who I know done been through the struggle, who done been through some stuff, and I know where their mindset was, and to see them to walk out on that runway and just love the skin of their end, that's the joy that I get out of it. Like, people just don't, I cry now, but I'm not gonna do it. But that's the joy. But I've worked full time, and it's not always easy being I had a son who was in high school and middle school when I first started, still trying to do this, still trying to do a show, still trying to do practices, still trying to do the whole outline, the music, getting people in, because people don't understand, a fashion show is not easy. It looks so easy. Trust me. The shows that I do are not easy. And then for the fact that I do the whole entire show, like I do the way they step, the way they walk, the way they move, the music, the energy between each other. I do everything. And then knowing me, sometimes the day before a show, I might change the whole scene. They know me, I change it.
Oh, wow.
If I see something different, if my vision is something different, and I'm an entertainer person, like most fashion shows, it's just walk straight, walk back. That's not me. I love entertainment. I like for them to connect, the energy to be great, like for them to just, have fun, come out there and just have a good time. Some people, the old school way, which that's what they want to do, not, but I like entertainment, that's what I like. So yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So, you mentioned your confidence. So give me a little bit about that. Like, how did you build your confidence? You said that you weren't, always this confident because you were a tomboy first, and then you went through different stages of, the different wardrobes. And let me just say that I did too. But I mean, I've always been in fashion, but I did the hip hop thing. I love the big baggy clothes, but I always had like little tank tops under it. But it was always cute. But I loved that era that we were in. But anyway, enough about me. But yes. So give me a little bit more about how you got, that confidence. How did you build that confidence up in you? Like, did somebody build it up in you? Did you go to counseling? Did you have a life coach? Like, what transpired that transition?
Well, here's the thing. Confidence, it comes from everyone differently. It depends on your mind and how you're built. It depends on your foundation, what you have surrounding you coming up. I've never had low self-esteem. I never dealt with it. And some have, but my confidence kind of came from my foundation, my mom. My mom was one of them parents that she believed in, like one thing, prime example, if your name is your name. My mom didn't believe in nicknames. And I when I talk to the youth and I do my youth conferences, I speak on that too, because nicknames sometimes can be damaging and people don't realize that. Like, for instance, let's say you're a curvy girl and your mom calls you, I don't know, Boo or Chunky, and that could be your nickname. But mentally, if you're not strong mindset like that, and you already getting bullied in school, and you're dealing with that at home, even though it's coming from a place of love, it's coming from a place of love. At the end of the day, sometimes it can be damaging at the same time. So my mom always never let anyone call me except my name. She wouldn't even let my grandmama call me her big baby. Like, my grandmama can call me one big baby, and my mom just like, no, don't call her that. Her name is Tasha, your grandbaby, my grandpa, don't call her anything else. And then, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, they always just, push me to just love myself, love the person in the mirror. And my grandmother, she would get my face and, see that little girl right there in that mirror, you so pretty. So it has a lot to do with my foundation, my mom, my grandparents, and everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have that. They don't have that foundation, that focuses on you loving the skin that you're in. So that for me is where mine came from. And then, just taking all that in, and just, I one of them people who I just never cared what anybody thought of me. I didn't care, that you can say whatever you want about me. I used to be mean, but I still didn't care what nobody said about me. I just never focused on that, because here's the thing. They talked about Jesus will make you think they ain't gonna talk about you.
Right. And that's true. Right.
So, I try to tell the youth, we have some mean people in the world. People are going to be mean. They're going to say some mean stuff, but hey, you cannot let this world define you of what they say.
True.
You can't. So, I tell people, like I said about some of the models who model for me, some of them are not always what you see. Like, they don't always believe in themselves. They even though they're beautiful, man, you just don't know, some of these people done been through some stuff. They done been over some hurdles, some stuff you would never think they would have been through, but they accomplished it. And for them to just be out there on that runway and loving who they are when you know what's behind the scenes, yeah, it's amazing. It is very amazing. But yeah, that's how my confidence came for me. It's just my foundation. I really say that's the biggest part of it. So
awesome. And it's awesome that you had that back structure, you know, because a lot of people, you know, we don't. You have a mom or you have a dad or you have, you know, either both. But
yeah,
it's great that you had that, because I did too. I had my mom and my grandmother, and you know, that's a 2-parent home. You know, every 2-parent home doesn't look the same, right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome, and I love that. I love women raising strong women. So who encourages you now? Well, let me back up before I ask you that. When you were building your empire, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're building our empire, right? We're trying to leave a legacy. So when you're building, while you're building this empire, who do you allow around you?
I have a sisterhood. I have a great team of sisters. I say, no matter what I'm going through, we might argue, fuss, and fight, but we still have each other's back. If one of us fall down, we're gonna pick each other up. And my mom and my big sisters, I have some close sisters to me, and my son. I have one child. He's 21. His name is Taylor, and I always just know what to say. He always says the right thing. It's been times when I have been at my worst, and my son, you know, God speaks through children. And
yes, definitely.
And it's been sometimes where I felt like I just was not going to make it. And my son just turned around and said the perfect thing for me to just like, hey, mama, it's going to be okay. God got your back, and I do too. Even though I'm 8, 9, 10, 12 years old and I ain't got no job, I still got your back, mama.
Right.
So, you know, I think that part right there is.
Now, did you always have this sisterhood?
Yeah, I have always had I'm a people person. But one of my big sisters, she's my god sister. Her name is Mary Wigfall. She has always been right there beside me, like from trying to figure out what a girdle was, to put me in the girdle, to squeezing me in the girdle, honey, till the old school girls, baby.
Right, the ones that fastened in the front.
You see my eyeballs? This is how my eyes was when I got through wearing it. But the real school, so, you know, she was there when I was trying to figure all that stuff out. And, you know, like I said, my mom and my grandparents, because I was blessed to have 3 generations raising me, because I was the only child in the family. I had my mom, my grandmother, my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother, and my big mama, my great-great-aunt. So I had all these people around me coming up and was the only child. So, man, I was just surrounded by greatness, you know, just all kind of women who done been through some stuff and still standing, you know. So God put me in the right place. He put me in the right position to have the right people around me, because I think if I didn't have that, I probably couldn't survive half of the stuff that I've been through. So
that's amazing. Okay, well, that's awesome. And you're right, it is. I did not have that personally. I have a few people now, but yeah, I definitely didn't have that.
Yeah. And it's a difference. And like I said, with women, we are emotional creatures. You know, we gonna disagree. I was a tomboy, like I said, but I always used to have more guy friends coming up. Yeah. And, you know, I used to hear the little saying, oh, she with all the guys and she fast and blah, blah, blah. And that wasn't the case. I was just like one of the homies, you know, they didn't try to date me or nothing. Like, I was too mean for them, you know, because like now that I'm, you know, doing fashion, some of the guys who was around me coming up, like, man, Tasha, that's you. Okay. If I knew you was going to look like that, you know, just say stuff like, which is funny, because I remember playing basketball, having one ponytail and my hair just slicked back and my, you know, just looking like a dude. But yeah, I think I got more surrounded by women. I'll say maybe age 24, probably like age 24. You know, I got a little more out there and friendlier and all that stuff. And then I changed my life around, you know, because some of the stuff I did, God just know he covered me. I was headed down a road. Yeah. And no reason I had to, because I wasn't brought up like that. Like, you know, doing bad stuff I ain't had no business doing. That's why I hate when people say, it's the parents. No, prime example. I wasn't surrounded by none of that. I wanted to experiment and test the waters.
Right.
Knowing my mama is crazy. I don't even know why I wanted to test the waters, because it's the consequences that's going to probably take me 6 feet under. So I don't even know why I did the stuff that I did, but yeah. And I'm 43 right now, and still, if I was to get in trouble right now, don't call my mama, please. Don't do it. Don't call my mama. Just call it. Just don't call Connie, because if it's my fault, yeah, it's gonna be
Right.
yeah. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the closeness that you have with your family and your mom. That's wonderful. A lot of young girls don't have that, or we strive for that, So that's amazing. That's very beautiful. So who, like I said before, who inspires you? Like, do you have a life coach now? Do you go to counseling? Do you do anything any mental health involved? Reading, podcasts? What do you listen to? What keeps you motivated?
I have a creative mind. I don't read. I'm not a reader. I never have been. I like music. Sitting in my car is my happy place. I can sit in a car and listen to different music like all day long. Like, just, man, I can listen to all kind of music, and I would sit there and listen to all this music all day long, and we create a whole show. Listen to all this different music. I can create a whole scene just listen to this one song. I can see who gonna stand where and who gonna do this. Just listen to all. It doesn't matter, rock music, classical. It doesn't matter. Like, that's my mental. That's my mental for me. That's how I handle everything. I just get into my car, and I don't know why. I don't know. My mom, she get mad. You sit in the car. My son like, Mama, you burn up all the gas. You ain't got to pay for it. Don't worry about it. I'm out here minding my business. So you just go on back in the house. But
Right.
I think where I just let everything go and just rest for whatever reason. I'm not alone in this, because I've asked this question. Am I the only one in this world that likes to sit in their car for 2-3 hours?
No, I do it too.
Yeah, I found out that I'm not alone in this.
No.
So I have had, cases where I've talked to someone when I went through a little something, so it's okay. When I speak to my girls, or even my women, when I did the women's conference, still keeping me, it's okay to talk to somebody. And I think for the Black community, that's one of the issues that we downplay, oh, I want to worry about what nobody's going to think of me, and don't talk to nobody. No, what you need to do is talk to somebody, because what I can handle, you probably can't handle. And your friends is not going to be always the go-to person, because some of them can't even handle their own problems.
That's
or
true.
They are judgmental. So you need to talk to somebody who does not know nothing about you, who can give you this advice, because they know nothing about you, and they can kind of relate to certain, situations, how you can resolve it without somebody else comparing your situation to their situation, or want to be Dr. Phil and they don't even know what the crap they're talking about.
Right.
So yeah. God is my best friend. He's my man. I have cried. I'll be done crying right now. Let me get it up.
It's okay, girl.
He
We cry,
is
we laugh, we do
my
everything
best
on here.
friend. He's my best friend. Like Shay McCowan, that's one of my babies, my sister, my right side, one of my right side people too. And she knows me like crazy. And one of the things she always mess around and say, because like I said, God's still working on me. She'll be like, I know the Lord. She knows of the Lord. So she picks with me because I say little words, but I love me some Jesus. He's
Right.
I'm telling you, I believe. Here's the thing, whatever you put in the universe, you get back.
That's true.
And you treat people how you want to be treated. I'm not perfect. I promise you I'm not perfect. And I make mistakes. I might say something mean. Sometimes some stuff I say, it just comes out wrong. And sometimes people don't know. If you don't know me, what I say, you might not know how to take it. But usually if it's something I'm saying, it's coming from a place of love. If I say something to you and I see somebody hurting you, yeah, I might pop off real quick because I love you and I don't like to see you hurt. And when you hurt, I hurt. So that, God is my best friend, and he's been good to me. Like I said, I'm not perfect. If I say stuff, it's coming from a place of love. And sometimes people don't know how to take me, and I know how to be apologetic. I know how to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, and I didn't mean to come off so aggressive, but I love you, and I just want you to, understand what I'm trying to say. And but I know how to be a bigger person and be apologetic. Now, whether you accept my apology or not, then that's on you. But God is my best friend. That's the only thing I can say. He has taken me through some hurdles and I bounced back. And it's been some times I didn't know how I was gonna make it. And all of a sudden, hey, somebody did a $500 sale, so I believe one thing I believe is how you treat people, God will turn around and bless you 3 times forward. Because he definitely has for me. I look back and I'm like, Lord, how I got over. But I'm still standing. So yeah, I'm a true believer of that. And I always will be. And can't nobody make me think no different. So
that's true. You're right.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about your struggles. Can you give us an example of the type of struggles you went through? You can just give us one, just for the glampreneurs that are listening, to help us if we face that struggle, or to have something that we can listen back on and say, you know what, Latasha got over this, I can get over this. Just give us an example of something that you might have gone through in life, period, or just building your brand.
Well, a lot of people don't know. I lost my job year before last. I was laid off.
And that was
Unexpectedly.
COVID?
No, it was before COVID. I was working for United Healthcare, and we got bought out by Optum, and
yes, I remember that.
Had no clue that we was gonna get bought out. Like my manager, everybody lost their job, and I've been in corporate for a long time, so I know what layoffs look like.
Right,
So I asked them, I was like, we don't hardly have that much work. Are we gonna get laid off? Oh no, you're not gonna lose your job. Everything is fine. And it was like November, I think the 30th, and I got a ping, and it was one of the CEOs from our department, and I said, oh hell, shoot. I know what this is, because I knew. And he was like, I need to talk to you, and I want to be apologetic, blah, blah. I said, you know what, just go ahead and give it to me, because I already know what it is. And I said, I hate it for you, because you got to be the guy, the big bad guy of the news. And I said, but I'm not mad, because I understand. I know the process, and it is what it is. He was like, I wish everyone else I speak to, understand it. I said, no, I just know what it is. I've been down this road several times. I felt like I had a layoff curse or something. I never been fired. I just been laid off, and it's been in the corporate world, Memorial, Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's the way the world goes, So I got laid off, and all of a sudden I lost my mobility. I couldn't hardly walk. And it was, nobody had a clue. This last show that I did, I barely could move. Like, I came out dancing, but no one had no clue how much pain I was in. I came out walking and dancing in them heels, but if anybody just knew how much pain I was in, it was rough. But I had lost my mobility. I had some days where I wake up, I couldn't even hardly move. Getting to the bathroom was a struggle for me. And that's because I have a Harrison rod in my back. I had surgery when I used to play basketball. I had scoliosis, which is hereditary. And I was developing a curve in my back. So they wanted me to have surgery, which I did. But after a surgery gets old, sometimes on your body, you gain weight, becomes wear and tear. So what I'm experiencing is wear and tear. So, excuse me, I had to have a surgery, but it wasn't until after the show. So that last show, I really pushed through. I just prayed to God, God, you just get me through this. I know this is going to be a struggle, but I really want to do this show. I don't want to give up, and I did it. But I'm going to tell you, it was rough. I still survived. I paid my bills. I didn't miss a beat. I only way I say I know I survived is through God. That's one thing I can tell you. Like, I stayed prayed up, and I trusted him. I still did my business, and I drew my unemployment. The little stimulus kicked in, but all the bills that I got, honey, it wasn't no side note for me like everybody else think. They had all this, putting all, I paid bills with that.
Right.
I got bills, and I just, I thank God every day for, me and Donnell was on the phone, and, she was talking about something. And I said, this is when you learn, you got to be grateful for the small things. I said, could it be walking great one day, and the next day, you can't hardly move? Mm-hmm. Like like Tammy Isom, they just really said some stuff to me to keep me from being down. And like Sheree and Tasha and Ro, we prayed, and my sister, you know, like I said, my god sister Mary, you know, she gonna be there right here in a second. And then my other sister Tamika Silvers and all of them. I just, like I said, I got a good people, you know, my little sister Demetra, like my little sister, she's in Atlanta, but she's a breast cancer survivor. Like she's only 33 years old. And she's really one of my rocks. Like I look up to her so much because the stuff that she went through, you know, like if she can do it, I can do it.
Right.
But my little sister, when it comes to people who I really, really look up to, is my sister, my mom, because my mom's had 2 brain surgeries. She's still working. She's still, you know, a teacher at Chattanooga State. She took care of my grandmother and she took care of my great grandparents and still take care of her kids. You know, we grown, but she love us to death. We love her grandkids. And yeah, so on my website, you'll see that I dedicated it to her because all the stuff my mama's, you know, done been through and still being here today because she couldn't be here today, you know, but God, you know, so yeah.
Right.
I don't been through a whole lot of stuff that I can't speak on, but one thing I tell people, anything you're going through, man, just trust God. I know it's easier said than done, but man, you gotta let it go and just put it in his hands, because if you don't, then you're not trusting him.
Right.
You have to let go and let God, because it's easier said than done, but it's so much weight off your shoulders. It's so much weight off your shoulders. It's just, I don't know, it's amazing. But like I said, when I was on the phone with Donna and we had that conversation, I had her in tears. I was like, girl, you gotta be thankful for them small things, because that losing that mobility, it seemed like over a week of time, man, it's so many days I just cried like, Lord, you know, why me? But why not me? What made me different?
Right.
It's somebody out here doing worse than me. Yeah, it's somebody doing worse than me. You know, I work for the state. You know, some people come in and they ain't got nowhere to stay. They ain't got nothing. You know, they coming there with us and get on a computer, you know, to go there and look for jobs, but they safe haven. You know, they feel safe and comfortable, you know, because we the only place that, you know, don't harass them and let them come in and just get on the computer sometimes. So, you know, why not me? But, you know, you got to be thankful. You know, thank you, God, for letting me go through this and get through this.
Right.
So I can be a testimony to somebody else.
That's true. You're right. You're absolutely right. Well, Latasha, thank you so much. I'm super excited about your business, your website. You have done so much in a little time that I've known you. You have blossomed so much. And I am just overwhelmed that you are sharing this platform with me on today. And you know, my little self gets to talk to you, you know.
And I talk to anybody. I am my mama's daughter, because my son be like, Mama, we was in Walmart. I mean, I have learned, you know, it don't take nothing but 2 seconds to say something nice to somebody. You'll never know that one little nice thing that you say to somebody, it might change their whole life, because you'll never know what nobody going through. Like you can say they look beautiful. They could have just had the worst day and got in an argument. Somebody could have called them out their name. And that one little thing could have just let them know it's still going to be all right. You know, so.
It doesn't take much to encourage somebody. It really doesn't. And thank you so much. Like I said, so do you want to go ahead and give a shout out to your business? Let us know when we can reach you, your website. Let us know when we can find all this fashion, girl.
You go to I have a Facebook page, and it's Unique Curves BBW. And also you can go to my website. It's uniquecurvesbbw.com. And I just had a big fall fashion drop, and I'm going to have some more pieces drop. The next show will be, we're looking at the end of April. I mean, the end of March or the 1st of April for the next show. I will be having a youth conference December 11th, and it's Learn the Essential Strategies of Being a Curvy Girl. But I think I'm going to take curvy off and just be young lady. And it's going to be free. We will have, let me see, Tati, she's going to be there talking about makeup. Officer Glenn Scruggs, he will be there. Mayor Tim Kelly and Jenny, they'll be there. I will be speaking. Nene Evans, she will be there. Sheree Moore from She Trucking, she will be there. Of course, they will get free gifts and stuff, they little shirts, and they'll get to eat, and you know, just they have a ball every year. I do it twice a year, and every time I say I ain't gonna do it, I get about 3 of them. Miss Tasha, is you gonna do the youth conference again? And I'm like, okay, Lord, I hear you. I'm sorry. I'm still gonna do it. Still gonna do it twice a year. So if I could do it more, I would. But yeah, it'll be free, and I have an announcement. Probably, I I say next week. I'll post the flyer and everything. So it's gonna be some great people there speaking. So I'm excited. They always have about, it'd be so funny because the girls that come, I don't want to come. And Miss Tammy Isom, they do the model walk. Lucretia Williams, she come in and do the workout yoga. I don't want to come. I don't want to be here. And then the ones who I always say that, when the next one? I want to come.
Right.
So they end up coming to every last one of them. So the ones that be grumpy and mad, I always put them right by my hip. Come on over here with me. Them be my projects. Come on over here. They have a ball. So yeah, I look forward to it. I love them kids. I love them little girls. You know, I be honest with them. I tell them the truth. I talk to them about some of everything. You know, because life is real. You know, it's especially social media. I can't stand it. Recordings of every single thing. I was fighting and, you know, bullying. I'm so over it. But the thing of it is, you have to speak on it. You got to address it. That's the problem. Nobody wants to speak on it. Well, I'm that person. I'm going to speak on it. So,
You're right. Right. We have to be honest with the youth because the world isn't hiding anything from them. You know, we try to protect them as moms. I know I do. I try to keep my kids my kids are very sheltered, but I try to allow some things, you know, and teachable moments. But you know, the world doesn't shelter our kids, so why should we? You know, to a certain extent.
You have to be honest with them. You know, I have to, some stuff when I talk to my son, you know, because I still had that little tomboy with me, and some stuff when I used to wear, he was like, "Mama, you got." I said, "Hey, I'm just we keeping it 100 here. You a boy, and I gotta talk to you about this stuff now." Like, Mom, but you ain't got. Yes, I do gotta say it like that. Ain't no sugarcoating nothing. You know, we're gonna talk about it like that. But you know, that was the best thing I could have did with him. When he played sports, he was a good kid. Never gave me a day of trouble. Never suspended. I think he got suspended for his friends sending him out one time in kindergarten, and my mama whooped him, and he didn't want to feel that no more. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, you guys know where you can reach her. Thank you guys so much for joining us on tonight and tuning in. And we will talk to you guys soon. See you next Tuesday.
Bye.